It took me long to release the Panthera Prime video for one reason: I tried out every possible builds for this primary weapon just to make it good. With around 8 Forma spent on this gun, I concluded that the one Forma build I have at the very start was actually the best build for this gun. I know I wasted some Forma, but for the sake of science, I will do everything. Well, that's stretching it a bit. The truth is, I just want to have a build for this gun that is actually fun to play. You see, Panthera Prime is one tricky gun. It may have a straightforward stats, and you can say at first glance that this weapon is great for the current meta, since it's a status monster and it packs a lot of slash damage on both its primary and alternate fire. But once you are using it in real mission, you'll feel the dilemma of expectation versus reality. The fact is, Panthera Prime is oddly underwhelming for a slash-based weapon. Now, my initial build for Panthera Prime was this. I tried to give it at least over 100% status chance to test how good it is when modded for pure status. Apparently, the result was kind of mind-numbing, especially against heavily armored enemies. In the testing room, you may see it wreck corrupted heavy armored enemies that are level 140 plus, but in real mission, you will realize how ineffective this build is. Both fire rate and reload speed are too slow for my playstyle, which is why I tried a different approach, and modded it with a combination of hunter munition and vial acceleration mods. It was kind of surprising at first that a slash-based gun must be equipped with the hunter munition mod so it can kill armored enemies faster compared to having an over 100% status build. Now, you might be curious why I did not put split chamber on my build. Simply because I don't like having a V trajectory on the Panthera Prime's projectiles. It's kind of hard to hit heads, especially in the distance when your projectiles are split into two. It's just a personal preference though, and you can add split chamber in specific situations which we will discuss later. Also, argon scope is a personal preference, and you might be scratching your head right now why I bothered to mod this gun with critical when it doesn't have over 30% crit chance. Well, simply because critical does help this gun do more damage when paired with a high fire rate mod. Also, because of the mini explosion that its primary fire has, it is easy to proc argon scope, which further boosts the critical chance of this weapon. You might look for other ways to boost its damage, but honestly, adding some critical on a build is the best choice I have done after several Forma on the Panthera Prime. Take note that what you see and hear in this video are purely based on my experience using Panthera Prime. They are not just theory crafted on the testing room, and I tried several builds before I ended reverting to the first 2 builds I have. I'm not saying that Panthera Prime is a bad gun, as I only tried it on Steel Path missions. In normal Star Chart missions, this weapon can wreck enemies with the build I've shown you without breaking any sweat. But Squad Leader, you are not using its alternate fire. Also, you are not using any rivens on your Panthera Prime. If you think its alternate fire will do more damage than its primary, then think again. Even if its alternate fire is pure slash, I wouldn't use it over its primary fire because it doesn't do that much damage against high-level units, and it feels like a very underwhelming melee weapon when used. On the other hand, the primary fire can actually kill enemies faster than the alternate fire. It's long range. It has mini explosion that allows you to proc argon scope easy, and it can also stagger enemies when they are hit. Long story short, the primary fire gives out more benefit on Panthera Prime. In terms of Riven, I think it's not wise to even get one right now, since all of the new weapons have a default 0.5 Riven disposition now, which only means that you won't get any god roll stat on your Riven, which is why I advise you to just put only one Forma on this primary weapon to make it good. Do not waste 8 Forma like what I've done, as it's purely for testing purposes. If you really want to have some dumb fun with Panthera Prime, then try it with armor stripping warframes. The fact is, this weapon can melt even high-level units if they have no armor. There are several frames that can armor strip, but I highly advise that you go for those frames that have a wide area of armor strip, or efficient in stripping enemy armor. The most obvious choice is Ash with Seeking Shuriken, but I also advise you to try the likes of Nyx, Oberon, Abating Link Trinity, Ember, Gauss, or even Frost. However, the most fun I have with Panthera Prime is when I use it with a Crushing Ruin mag. Panthera Prime is the new toy for mag. It becomes powerful because of mag's bubble, and very destructive if you strip away enemy armors by using both mag's crush and polarize ability. This was the mag build I'm using on the clip earlier. It's basically the same mag build, and this mod setup will allow you to strip all of an enemy's armor by performing to crush. then totally stripping away the remaining armor of an enemy with Polarize. However, you don't need to do it all the time since Magnetize also synergizes well with Panthera Prime. In fact, you will feel like you are just firing the Astilla while using this synergy. For the Panthera Prime build, you can follow the Hunter munitions setup, or you can replace this mod with Split Chamber. The V trajectory won't matter for this mag synergy since all of the projectiles of the gun will eventually hit those enemies inside Magnetize. So that's about it, lads. I do hope that you find this video informative. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Warframe content. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.